Okay. Hi, Swara. Hi, Ravi. I'm Rohit. What's from News
Hi.
18? And
Hi.
when Swara Bhasker is there, you know, the journalists tend to ask some political questions, but but we will come back to that later, because
Okay.
I'm
Maaf
sure.
kare.
And this is your in a way, have you ever tried, like, I know about Ravi, that Ravi has been a stand up comedian and he is a pro at it, but what were your
Right.
experiences with this kind of character?
I mean, I have never done stand-up comedy before till I had to prep for this show, of course, and it was both the most scary part of this show for me and the most fulfilling part. It's one of the reasons why I really was keen to be in the show, of course, apart from getting a chance to co-star with Ravi Patel ji. But I was the possibility of actually dabbling a little bit and learning a little bit about stand-up comedy. That was very exciting for me.
By the way, I'm not a
And
pro at
Ravi,
it. I mean, I'm new to it too. We were both out there going in the open mic scene trying to figure out how this actually works.
so what happened there? Like, when you first went to an open mic scene to prepare for your role, what went into your head? Like, what was happening at the back of your head?
Ravi, why don't
You,
you tell us
you're
first?
me? Oh, what was happening in the back of my head? Well, part of the problem with me is there's not much happening anywhere in the head, and so I just say whatever I'm thinking, and then I react to it too late, and then mistakes are made. Uh, I think uh, for me there was a lot of obstacles with trying stand-up comedy while we were filming the show. One was, I think not speaking Hindi, not living in India, not being a comedian. That was a really big obstacle. Of the three, I think that was the biggest. Um, and so, but it was good. It was good for for the acting because that Ravi um, was also not that great at it. That Ravi was maybe better at it than this Ravi, to be honest.
Okay, so this is like there is one Ravi, and then there is like an alter ego of Ravi, and both of them merging together
Lots
in
of
this
Ravis.
show.
There's actually like 14 Ravis in here at all times, just chatting, and it's a nightmare. You don't want to be a part of this, trust me. Yeah.
And so that brings me back to Swara. That Swara initially made a kind of image of a very serious actor, and then she is still a very serious actor, very pro at her work.
Mhm.
But then she started experimenting with her characters, and now we are
Mhm.
seeing you in a in a wannabe stand-up comedian. So. What was your thought process? Like, how did you channelize your energy towards this?
I think that just to clarify there that I think that what tends to happen is that you get tagged as being a particular kind of actor by really the people who are watching, or by the
Yeah.
press or the media, or like certain sections of the audience. I think that, yeah, the for me it was very liberating to do a show where there was no overwhelming cause that you're fighting for, and that, like, no, it's not a social issue. That because I think my previous release was very obviously a social issue based show. And I found it actually very liberating. And I think what was the nicest thing about this show for me was, and I've been saying this, that it's great fun, it's light, it's frothy, it's lighthearted, but actually there's a very it's a very endearing, universal, sort of it's a depiction of a very universal experience of really a journey of self discovery, which is something that is really the process of being an adult, of being a stable, balanced adult. And I think that they have managed to tell that story very beautifully. For me, really a question of getting into the character was to trust the writing and trust the directors. I think that I always there were many things similar to me as a person in Beanie, whether it's the cultural background, or it's the fact that you're a young person who's grown up in a city where your parents are actually quite nice, but they have certain expectations from you, or whatever it was. I think that we all have the memory of being young and confused, and conflicted. So I had to channelize some of that. Had to learn or understand stand-up comedy, learn, get familiar with that, perform it a little bit, all that stuff. But really, I think that a lot of it was about trusting the people who are making the show, trusting the writing, trusting the people who are making the show, and then being open to, like, I think that Ravi is someone who brings a lot of spontaneity to the scene and to his performance. So I think that a lot of that was also about trusting your co-actors and being able to create something right there. And I think that it was amazingly, the best moments in the shows that were not scripted necessarily in quite the same way. The best moments in the show are the ones where, Ravi did something, I reacted to it, somebody else did something, like those moments are actually the most beautiful moments. So
Yeah.
it was lovely to be able to just trust the people you're working with and let them also, in that sense it was very collaborative making.
Yeah, which you have to have incredible actors to do, which we did.
Yeah, so and sometimes it's also good to break free from what you have been doing, what you are already good at. So so trying something
Yeah,
new. Um, and Ravi,
yeah.
you have done so much work
Like
on TV and also
you probably know this, but I traditionally have only played kind of supermodel type roles, and so this was it was a stretch for me, and people didn't think that I could kind of play like this kind of grounded, playful, insecure guy, but it was, I don't know. I think I nailed it, and we'll see in award season. Award season's going to be real fun for me.
and sometimes also because in India, especially somebody who is as vocal as Swara,
No.
so
Mhm.
sometimes it is difficult to differentiate between the actor as a person and the same person as an actor. So
Yeah, totally.
you know what I mean, right? So Swara, what you
Yeah.
have to say? As I told you that we won't talk about your politics in the beginning, but we will come to it.
I mean, that's really then my challenge, right? If I can make you forget. Sorry, my dog is like banging against the table for some reason. Can you stop it? Isko please
Show
leke
them,
jaiye.
show him the dog sweater. It is amazing.
Yeah,
This
it's the
guy
cute.
looks like you haven't met Chiman Mama, my mama, Chiman. He has a sweater. I swear to God, he has that exact same that he looks like Chiman Mama.
Good. He's my
Chiman
baby.
Mama, is that
He's my
you?
baby.
Oh my God. What is that?
He's a cutie. So I think that एक minute. Hello, please, Bikesh, इसको लेके जाओ यार.
Bikesh, come on,
Uh,
Bikesh.
shut up. इसको लेके जाओ ना, ये मार रहा है यहाँ पे. Um,
Bikesh, what the hell, man?
sorry. I think that the challenge really in what you're asking is then on me as a performer and as an actor. Am I able in my performance to make you forget that I am against CANRC, for example, or that I stand up for whatever, a certain kind of a cause or an issue or whatever. So and I think that I don't think about it consciously, but now that you ask me, I mean, I think that what the interesting thing that has happened to me a lot is I get a lot of comments on the internet with people saying we hate your politics, but we love your acting. And I think that those are
Great.
my most special comments,
Yeah.
compliments, because they're coming from haters. So I think
Yes.
that's actors who are doing full justice to the role that you have been asked to play at that moment. I mean, I have in my I don't. I mean, I've played roles where I don't subscribe to necessarily the views of the character because that's that's my job as an actor, and then the other stuff is my opinion as a citizen. I mean, I don't even consider that a job. It's just
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wish
but
that people saw this side. I wish that people saw this side of Swar more often. Because, by the way, I had the same. The only perception I had of Swara was the one that's on the internet, which is, intimidating at least. And, I got to know someone who's like so sweet. She's very playful. She's really funny. I mean, I think she should be doing more of this stuff. And I'm excited for, you know, I'm excited for people to see these other sides of her.
Yeah, of course, and also apart from like political views are one thing, but as she said that as an actor she has been pretty acclaimed, and most of her work are very much appreciated by the audience and critics both. So, but sometimes I just wonder that will it be is it an easy thing to separate the actor from the kind of activist vocal person one actor is in real life
Mm.
For me personally or for the audience?
for you?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't have a problem at all. I mean, for me, I'm able to maintain that separation. I mean, the only thing where I find that there is a link, and this is something Ravi has spoken about as well, and I know that he actually does it perhaps in a more silent way than me, because he's also involved in a lot of sort of charity and like developmental work that he doesn't talk about too much, which is actually very laudable and praiseworthy. For me, the only place where I think that there's an intersection is where you're using your platform consciously to raise a certain cause or to talk about a certain cause. Like there are some places where I know that if I go there, the cameras will come and that issue will get some attention in the media. So that is the only place where, and that those are things I do consciously, where I'm using the fact that the press will come, uh, 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 and I'm grateful for that. And then I platform that cause. That's the only place where there is really an interaction. But otherwise, it's not. I don't have my activist cap on when I'm reading a script, selecting a script. Not really. I don't think
Mm.
so.
and
But Ravi,
and
do you ever?
Yeah, so
I'm
I was
always
going
looking
to ask.
for pro Ravi material. I'm looking for things that specifically have my name in it and are really elevating the cause for all Ravis India wide. And for all of you Ravis out there, all of you Ravis out there, I have got your back. I know that it's tough. We will win. We will rise. Ravi Patel specifically. There's like a million of us. Us Ravi Patels will rise and we will win again. Sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry. I made it political. I'm sorry. Oh, I did
So
it
Ravi
again.
Patel
I'm
for the
sorry.
president.
Yeah, any Ravi Patel, literally any Ravi Patel for president. Yeah.
And as Ravi, you were talking about like you had a certain perception of Swara, then you met her and you found like it's a very different person. And so I was just wondering that how did you guys ease into the roles? Like what happened when you guys shot for the first time together?
I mean, I can tell you from my perspective, it was pretty immediate. Like I liked her a lot from the very beginning. I mean, I felt she has a very actually like soft and sweet, very approachable quality about her, and I felt very comfortable with her right away. I mean, I think you know, I I think we were saying this in another interview. Like I actually am like a fairly sensitive person, and so if I'm working with an actor who is like mean or stiff, it actually affects like I become uncomfortable. It affects my performance, and conversely, if I'm with someone who is kind and likes to laugh and makes me smile, then it improves my performance, and that's kind of what I had with Swara. I think what you see on screen between us very much reflects what was happening off screen, which was she was always trying to make out with me, and I was like, Swara, I'm married. Please stop. And she's
You
just like chasing
stop it. This, you know,
all the
this is going to be a
time, and I'm
headline.
like,
This is totally going to be a headline.
always with the
No, no, we will put a
like
disclaimer
a
there. Don't worry.
4-year-old, like jeez. I don't blame her. Honestly, if I was a woman, I would be chasing me too. But still, it's
You
like
know, your wife
keep it
is going to
professional.
believe this and she's going to hit me when she sees me.
She chases after me too. I'm irresistible and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I'm kidding, by the way. My wife has not kissed me in like 4 years. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're in love. She's in a different hotel room. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Okay, so
Anyway, Moving on to the next
Moving on.
question.
Okay, moving on to the next question. the, I have moved on, but I think Ravi is still there.
I'm still going. Still going. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so so what are your takeaways from Bhaag Beanie Bhaag? After doing the show, now what do you guys think about stand-up comedians and their hard work?
I mean, I think that I have always been very impressed by the fact that stand up comics are two things: one, that they're writing their own material, and two, that they're performing to live audience. So they're getting that validation or rejection, like at that moment on the spot, literally during your performance. So I think that as someone who is a film actor, an actor for camera, that is the scariest thing, that you could be rejected mid shot, really. You know what I mean? It's the most disorienting thing when something goes wrong in the middle of the shot and somebody cuts a shot, like before, when you had prepared for it to be cut. So to see that, to see the potential of you being rejected while you're doing your set, or whatever, I think that that is so scary. And I think that, I mean, it really is an act of bravery that all these comics write their own stuff, they express themselves, they're also sharing their vulnerability and doing it in front of a live audience of strangers. I mean,
Right.
literally, that could be anybody. I mean, it could be somebody who will get up in the middle and lagawa nara. Who knows? Like, I mean, of course, मेरे दिमाग में ये बातें आती हैं. So yeah, I think they're very brave people. But
Yeah, it also takes a lot of courage to say something that matters. Because in order to say something that matters, look, I mean, you're a journalist. I mean, it's the same. It's very similar in the sense that, you know, first of all, you want to say something that matters, but often you want to say something that's provocative just to get people's attention. And so, how do you do that while also staying within the boundaries of the status quo? The answer is really, if you're going to be provocative, that's inherently saying something that challenges the status quo. That's what I think is so beautiful, not only about journalism, but comedy. Oh boy, what's going on now? Talk to me. What's he doing? Wait, is it the
sorry.
sweater? Does he hate the sweater? Is it Chiman Mama's sweater?
No,
He doesn't want to wear it
shut
anymore?
up. ये दरवाजा बंद करो यार, प्लीज उसको बाहर करो. No, he's
I
just a
hate
mess.
green. Arr, I hate green. I told you. Arr,
He's a cutie.
you monster. How dare you put me in green?
Okay,
Go
so
on.
yeah, yeah, but Ravi, you were explaining it really beautiful.
Yeah, you were saying
I
a very
already
nice
forgot.
thing.
What was I saying? What? What was the last thing I said? Tell me.
You were
You were
talking
so
about status quo.
No, I look, I think stand up in journalism, I think in general art is creativity is necessarily about drawing outside the lines and creating new boundaries. And so that comes with inherently some inertia, some friction. And so it takes a lot of courage to do that because you're gonna lose some friends along the way. You're gonna have some arguments. I think that's one of the reasons why I admire Swara so much, because she stands for things. And whether you agree with her or not, I think you really have to admire the fact that she's out there trying to stand for stuff. It's awesome. That's what I love about comedians.
has no friends as a result. But anyway, no, I'm just
Swara, I don't think
I'm
you have
kidding.
friends anyway. I don't think. No, I'm kidding. I totally.
She immediately put a disclaimer there.
Yeah.
Yes. Because they are indicating me that I have used up most of my time. So, one final thing, like, so what's your
Yeah.
final message to the audience before Bhaag Beanie Bhaag releases? One thing that you want the audience
Watch.
to.
Yeah, I would say get through 3 to 4 episodes. Really, ideally, get through 6 episodes before you decide whether or not you want to watch it. Watch 6 episodes before you decide, which is how many episodes there are in the first season. Then you can decide whether or not you want to keep watching it. Watch 6. That's my message.
And
Also, after you watch this show, I hope you hit Twitter and really get the word out. Ravi Patels will be held down no longer in this country or in the world. We're loud and we're proud. Ravi Patel.
Ravi Patel, yes. So by now I have already become a Ravi Patel loyalist. Yes, Ravi Patel.
The campaign is
Swara,
working, Ravi. The campaign is working.
yeah. Swara, what about you?
I think that my message is really to say quite simply that there is a lot of dark, depressing stuff going on in the real world. We could all use a little fun. We could all use a reason to smile, and we could all use a little hope. I think that Bhaag Beanie Bhaag is a show that sort of has all these things. It has some great performances, great casting, fun story, and there is a lot of good advice about the public places in India where you can make out. So I think that everyone who has these interests should watch this show.
So
Totally.
yeah, yeah. On that note, thank you for your time, guys, and all the best for your show.
Thank
So
you
fun.
so
Thanks so
much.
much.
See you, Rohit.
Yeah.